Hey guys, this recap is totally free, so show some love with a quick like. Hit that subscribe button and check the pinned comment for the next part. Huge thanks to everyone.
So say it if you cannot control it.
What else do you even want to do now? No way, I would literally rather die, but I have not even finished speaking yet. My mom is chilling at home and sent me to collect rent to get some real-world experience. Just grab the cash and leave. What could go wrong? The landlord snaps that the rent is due today, but she begs for more time.
Can we get just 2 days? Honestly, her voice is incredibly pretty.
But yep, I really ran into a major plot twist here. If you cannot pay, there is nothing I can do. Hello there. Wait, I know this face too well, but isn't Meng Tingwan supposed to be mute? The landlord looks at him suspiciously. You do not look familiar. Are you even from around here?
Wait, no, she literally just spoke. Did the pressure of rent seriously cure her muteness? Hey, I am talking to you.
The landlord tells her to stop playing games. Either get your boyfriend to pay up right now or pack your bags. Wait, boyfriend? She definitely thinks I am just here to back her up.
He steps in. Are you the landlord, Li Xia?
Yes, what about it? The company is currently auditing lease collections right now. The MC plays along, saying the company's collections are down, so he is here to inspect. The landlord immediately folds, calling him handsome. She insists she is just doing her job. The girls think these two are totally in cahoots. Come on in, Mr. Fu. Please, take a seat. She starts brown-nosing. Mr. Fu, everyone paid except this one household. Their situation is pretty complicated. She asks him to show some mercy. This is wild. She was literally just screaming at them, and now she is begging? The girl thinks it is just a classic good cop, bad cop routine. They must be working together. The landlord laughs, saying she's shy. Honestly, this looks straight out of a drama where a bully kicks out a beauty. The MC speaks up. Landlord, actually, I know her. We are classmates. The landlord instantly winks. Oh, I get it. You youngsters chat. I will get out of your way.
Wait, what does she even think she understands? She literally just ran off. Now the landlord is gone.
How is he supposed to get the rent now? Meanwhile, Meng is looking at him like a scared cat. Classmate, were you faking being mute? I heard you loud and clear, so no need to act anymore. She glares at him. Fu Meng, what do you actually want? She can definitely talk. He replies that he is just here for the rent. She sighs, convinced he is working with the landlord. What is your move? What next move? He is so confused, but she snaps, telling Fu Meng to stop playing dumb. She knows he is a total playboy. She accuses him of planning this entire trap right after they paid their tuition. The MC is completely speechless. Did he arrange this? Arrange what? And what does she even mean by him being a playboy? She stutters, then suddenly yells at someone inside to stay back. Wait, twins? Is that her sister? The sister steps out. They promise to pack up and leave. The MC asks where they would even go, but they tell him to buzz off. He gives them some real talk. This is the cheapest apartment in Lingchang. Even if they find another place, moving fees will destroy them. If they cannot even afford rent now, are they planning to sleep under a bridge? Honestly, his point hits hard. She realizes he is right. She has no cash for rent or moving, even though her paycheck is coming in a few days. Just a few more days! Suddenly, the little sister greets him politely. Nice to meet you. Wait, the sister calls her sister Jianxia? So the girl he knows from school is actually Meng Jianxia, not Meng Tingwan? The older sister snaps at Wanwan to stop talking to him, revealing her own name is Meng Jianxia. So they really are twins. She demands to know what Fu Meng wants. He shrugs. He is literally just here for the rent. She asks for a few more days. To her absolute shock, he actually agrees without hesitation. She is so suspicious. Shouldn't some overpowered playboy use this chance to force her into some weird deal? But instead, he is being nice. But he adds a catch. He has one small condition. She immediately sends her sister back to her room, knowing it was too good to be true. She braces herself. What is your condition? It better not involve anything crazy. My younger sister? Wait, how am I even a playboy? The condition is you tell me exactly where I went wrong. If you can't, I will literally sue you for slander. She's just like, well, everyone says so.
Apparently, he's super rich and playing girls left and right. Classic school rumors. So she asks if that really is his only condition. He's like, obviously, what did you think I'd ask for? She's still suspicious, asking why he even came. And he's like, look, my family owns this building. He's just here to collect rent. Honestly, Meng Tingting is kind of a ditz. He has to repeat himself 3 times and she still doesn't get it. She's convinced this is some master plan to blackmail her because she's short on rent. He's just baffled. Like, do you really think I'd plot a whole scheme for this? He has zero interest in playing the villain, but her wild imagination is low-key hilarious. Plus, she's actually pretty cute when she's stressed. Suddenly, a hilarious idea pops into his head. Oh, he is definitely about to cook up some mischief. Fine, if you won't explain the rumors, let's make a new deal. He says he's getting a new place, but needs someone to help tidy it up. Since she is totally broke, why not work it off? He casually suggests she becomes his maid for a bit to cover the debt. Just use labor to pay the rent. She is completely stunned. She's already serving him tea, and he is just enjoying the VIP treatment. She asks what a maid actually does, and he just smirks, asking her what she thinks. He plays along, asking why she thinks he was the one collecting rent. It must be his master plan. And of course, she totally buys it. She is spiraling hard, thinking the Playboy rumors are actually true. What is she even supposed to do? But then he laughs and says he was just teasing. She is completely mind blown, especially since she was ready to sleep under a bridge. What kind of joke is this? Anyway, he tells her he'll handle Auntie Lai and give her 1 more week to get the money. She can just pay next Saturday. Oh, and he drops a friendly warning. Don't believe every stupid rumor you hear. He heads out and Auntie Lee immediately walks in, talking about how she knew it. Just like that, the crisis is avoided. She and her sister don't have to live on the streets. But she still wonders if Feng Meng really just showed up by chance. Auntie Lee is all proud, taking credit for solving the problem. Ting Ting is confused, but the landlady sighs at how dense she is. Like, hello, he is literally in her class. Auntie Lai points out it's so obvious he came here specifically for her. She tells her she needs to lock him down, get close to him, build a connection, and maybe he'll even waive the rent entirely. That way they will never have to worry again. Ting Ting insists she'll pay on time, but Auntie Lee just warns her she'll regret not listening. Remember, Saturday is the deadline. Ting Ting is exhausted from the drama. Suddenly, her little sister Wan Wan runs up. She quickly reassures her sister that everything is fine and they got an extension. Wan Wan is like, so Feng Meng saved the day, which means he's a hero. Ting Ting is like, well, yes, but he was literally trolling me. He is definitely not a good guy, okay? She tells Wan Wan to stay far away because he is a bad influence. If that mischievous guy gets close to her sweet sister, she will definitely get corrupted. 100% corrupted. Luckily, as long as they get the rent together this weekend, they won't have to deal with him ever again. No more run-ins with the wealthy young master. What could possibly go wrong at this point? Famous last words, guys. Now let's check in on Feng Meng. He lives in a fancy suburban villa, which sounds amazing, but there is literally 0 food delivery or restaurants for 10 kilometers. Since his own cooking is a straight-up biohazard, arriving at school every morning is his actual salvation because he can finally eat. His buddy asks what he's staring at, and Feng Meng just brushes it off, saying he is just spacing out. Then his friend begs him for homework answers. Feng Meng points him to Jiacheng, and his buddy literally calls him a lifesaver. But then the teacher walks in with some big news. They are rearranging the seats based on exam scores to help each other study. To complement strengths and improve together. We all know where this is going. The teacher starts calling names for the new seats. First up, Meng Tingwan and Feng... Meng! Of course, the teacher catches him mid-bite. Seriously? Eating buns in class again? Put that food away right now! He gets sent straight to the front row. His buddy tells him to stay strong as he gets dragged away. Please don't forget your brother in the back. Feng Meng is like, bro, I'm just moving seats, not going abroad. And his new desk partner is Meng Tingwan. The teacher warns everyone to stay quiet, but Feng Meng actually loves the front row. It's the perfect blind spot to slack off. But wait, why is her textbook still stuck on that same page? He smiles and gives her a casual greeting. Oh, she is totally trying to ignore him. He smirks and asks if her sister got the rent together yet. She snaps, asking what he wants, and he just chuckles at her anger.
She starts by apologizing for her attitude, promising her sister will pay the rent on time, while Fumo tells her it is all good. He says collecting it early or late makes no difference to him, and she thanks him before mentioning her sister's reaction yesterday.
Apparently, Meng Jianxia also realized she was out of line yesterday and wanted to apologize, which completely catches Fumo off guard.
He waves it off, but points out that her sister's reaction yesterday was actually pretty wild, since he only went there to collect rent. Before he could even say a word, she immediately snapped, asking what he wanted, making him wonder if she has some crazy persecutory delusion. At this point, he suddenly realizes he just trash-talked the older sister right in front of the younger one. Talk about awkward. Yep, she looks absolutely furious now, probably screaming in her head about what Fumu is actually trying to pull here. But wait, here is the huge twist. The twins are identical, but the younger sister, Meng Tingwan, is deaf and cannot speak. This means if the older sister, Meng Jianxia, wants to play the mute sister, she literally just has to stay silent. Oh, now this is getting spicy. Fumo starts connecting the dots. Is this quiet classmate Meng Tingwan actually her sister Meng Jianxia in disguise? She then quickly writes down an apology. She notes down that she spoke without thinking and had a bad attitude, then asks him to pass on her apologies to her sister. Fumo plays along, promising he won't tell her sister. And yeah, he obviously won't, considering the sister herself is the one sitting right in front of him. He can barely keep a straight face at this point. It is honestly hilarious watching this girl blush over a simple gummy candy. He still suspects she is the prickly Meng Jianxia from before, but guesses are just guesses, and he needs a solid way to test his theory. So he decides to set a trap, asking why her sister has such a massive grudge against him, claiming her sister got all those rumors from her. He brings up the rumor about him two-timing girls named Zhao Yun and Li Chuyue, demanding to know where she heard such a wild story. See, he knew she was lying yesterday. Someone as protective as Meng Jianxia would never throw her own sister under the bus like that, leaving only one real option. Meng Jianxia heard the rumor herself, panicked when confronted, and used her sister's name as a shield. If his quiet desk partner was actually the real Meng Tingwan, she would look totally clueless. But if this is indeed Meng Jianxia playing dress-up, she's gonna panic, realizing he might be onto her. She immediately realizes this is a direct test, telling herself she needs to stay completely calm. She keeps chanting to herself that she is just innocent Wanwan, who knows absolutely nothing about these messy details, so she just writes off the rumors as random gossip. She adds that she already explained to her sister that the rumors are completely fake, and right there, Fumo has to hold back his laughter. This girl has absolutely no poker face. If she really were the quiet sister, she wouldn't even know about these specific explanations. Plus, yesterday Meng Jianxia claimed her younger sister heard the rumors, but now she is saying she had to explain things to her sister. The pronouns are completely messed up at this point. She totally exposed herself, proving his theory correct. He knew it all along. The quiet sister was totally chill with him, yet today's version is acting super defensive. She didn't even swap places. She is really out here trying to play the mute sister again? Well, she just walked right into his trap, and he is gonna make the most of it. He jokingly muses that she surely wouldn't want to offend her landlord and risk getting both sisters evicted from their place. He slides a note asking what her older sister likes, acting like he finds her super interesting despite only meeting her once. Meng Jianxia tries to stay calm, telling herself he thinks she is Wanwan and is just innocently asking about her sister's hobbies. But the sheer panic is real. She completely freezes and ignores him for the rest of the school day. Honestly, the silent treatment is hilarious. Fumo can tell he totally broke her brain with that one question. She rushes out the second the bell rings, but running away won't save her because she still has to sit right next to him tomorrow. Seeing her this flustered and running for her life is a rare treat, since she is usually so put together. Meanwhile, Meng Jianxia is absolutely fuming on her way home, cursing Fu Mo for having the nerve to ask about her under the guise of casual interest. She is determined to pay off the rent by the end of the week so she never has to deal with his smug face again. Her master plan is simple. Just ignore him completely until he gets bored and leaves her alone. Let's see how that works out. At her part-time job, her boss tells her there are extra books to unpack, so she needs to stay until 7 p.m. while she asks about her weekly pay.
The boss reassures her that she will get paid on Friday as usual, and Meng Jianxia quickly gets to work. It is actually pretty heartbreaking once you learn about her background. Her mother passed away early and their deadbeat dad abandoned them. After paying tuition and basic necessities with their tiny child support, she even sent some money to their grandmother, leaving almost nothing for themselves. To cover the rest of their bills and survive, she has no choice but to work herself to the bone. Her only comfort is finishing her tasks early so she can steal a few quiet minutes to read her book before heading home. But today, she just cannot focus, and her mind keeps drifting back to his teasing words. She keeps hearing Fu Mo asking what her sister likes, and she is blushing like crazy while calling him an absolute creep. Getting interested after just one meeting? Yeah, that is definitely just falling for looks. Besides, she really looks like a girl from a novel. No, wait, she's just a landlord. Oh, he can't even focus! The street vendor asks what she wants, offering $5 special chicken wings, so she orders one. She adds a mushroom, asks for no spice, and the vendor hands it over. Wan, I brought you some delicious food. I already ate. See, I'm still right here. You won't be mad I started without you, right? You must be starving. I'll go cook. Here, let me taste a bite for you. Yep, it's good. Time to go buy groceries. Wan, let me tell you, that sparrow outside the window was back today, chirping all through class till the teacher got annoyed. Also, the bookstore got a book with a hilarious title called My Cat is a CEO. Wan is so smart, she gets everything after I explain it once, even faster than I ever did. Wait, what? This is her typical day, completely ordinary, with nothing exciting happening at all. But that shameless Fu Meng, why does his face keep popping up in her head? Time to eat. We will finish the rest of this test paper tomorrow. Classmate Meng Tingting, aren't you going to eat? Ever since he handed her that notebook? This girl has literally activated her ultimate defense mechanism. For a day and a half, she has completely ignored his notebooks, refusing to make eye contact, avoiding him like the absolute plague. Healing? Yeah, right. His friend asks what he was doing, warning him not to bully the new girl. Fu Meng snaps back at Yangzi to mind his own business, asking if he is the one who has a crush. No shot. Yangzi says she is not his type. He prefers cheerful older women, like 30 years older. Who even asked? But the guy points out that Fu Meng already has girls like Zhao Yun and Li Qiwei. So why is he bothering Meng Tingting? Fu Meng freezes. Wait, what did his friend just say? The friend calls him out for hiding secrets, but Fu Meng warns him to stop listening to baseless rumors. He claims he is a model student who strictly follows the rules against dating, threatening to sue for slander. He orders a massive feast of prawns, sweet and sour pork, chicken, and veggies. Classic food lover move. It's not that he's full, his plate literally cannot hold any more food. For a suburban kid with no food delivery? With no delivery options near his house, school lunch is his absolute salvation. Spotting an empty table, he heads right over. His friends wave him over. The school cafeteria is outsourced, so the food is great, but way pricier than public schools. Only basic items like porridge and buns are subsidized. Fu Meng already knew she could barely afford rent, but he never expected her to be squeezing her budget this desperately. He had no idea her wallet was actually this tight. Num. His friend is totally confused why Fu Meng insisted on sitting right next to her when there were plenty of empty spots, but Fu Meng just wanted to bond with his new desk mate. Unfortunately, she doesn't seem very welcoming. His friend warns him to give up. She literally never talks to anyone. No matter who tries to get close, she stays completely silent. Trying to talk to her is like crashing into an iceberg. But wait, she has aphasia, so how is she supposed to speak? Fu Meng wonders if she would have ever replied to his note if they hadn't run into each other at the apartment complex. Do pretty girls always care so much about their image? Looking at her plate of plain food, it is barely enough to feed a cat. With that tiny amount of food, how does she even have the energy to function under so much academic pressure? If he ate that little, he would starve before the first class even ended. But wait, is she starving? Math is her weakest subject, which is why the teacher paired them up. But this guy, Fu Meng, is absolutely zero help to her grades. And on top of that, he keeps trying to interact. It's been almost 2 days, and he still hasn't taken the hint. He keeps sliding his notebook over, even though she ignores it every single time. Usually, he'd give up by now. She thought he would finally stop. He is annoying, but at least he is not a stalker. But just when she thought he got the message, He goes and does it again!
She cannot take it. Taking it means giving in and letting him have his way.
Like, what is up with his annoying behavior? Just like that strawberry gummy on day 1? But hey, free food is free food, right? Taking it home to treat Wanwan is a total win. Now he is desperately asking the little sister what the big sister likes. Bro is literally playing detective. But she already snagged the chicken drumstick, so no refunds. She decides she is absolutely ghosting him now. No replies. Seriously, 0.
Except his snack strategy is just too overpowered. She folds instantly and goes back.
She gets home and immediately checks if Wanwan is hungry yet. Just munching on some snacks.
Honestly, their snack stash is literally just cheap grocery store biscuits and generic crackers. It is kind of sad. But today, she brought home the premium goods, and she is hyped to share the loot.
Keep it moving. Just pure wholesome sibling vibes here. She tells Wanwan to eat up because these treats are from that loaded guy with a bottomless backpack. He literally slides a snack with every single notebook, always asking how she is doing. Wanwan tells her sister to eat up, teasing her about her chest size.
That is highly uncalled for, but she blames Fu Meng for all of this.
Then she asks Wanwan if she remembers Fu Meng from school. Wanwan usually views strangers as blank sketches, but she has actually noticed Fu Meng twice now. This is a major red flag. She is terrified her super innocent little sister is getting played by this campus playboy. But Wanwan says he never even tried to talk to her first. If he never initiated, then why is Wanwan so fond of him? Well, at least her sister is not being scammed. When Wanwan asks about going to school tomorrow, she gets shut down instantly. School is great, but they literally just shuffled the seating arrangement this week. She is worried about the adjustment, but the real final boss is the new desk mate, Fu Meng. What if he just hands her a cake? Normally she would not care, but this guy has a weird charm. So she tells Wanwan to wait until next week. She vows to pay her rent on Saturday and cut ties with him forever. She plans to warn Wanwan about his sneaky notes while happily eating all his free food. Take the loot and run, leaving him completely baffled. She thinks she has everything under control. Here we go. Let us see how this play out.
It is going to get wild.
But wait, Fu Meng gets her message and is totally confused. Is she actually inviting him out?
He wonders if she is finally thanking him for all those snacks. Honestly, him thinking she wants to pay rent to say thank you is hilarious.
Since she usually treats him like a thief, this sudden meeting feels like a major trap. Or is it? He knows there is definitely a catch, but he wants to see what she is plotting. Wait, she is the one asking to meet, so why is he still buying the snacks? Whatever, he will just take the bait anyway. Then he asks about her sister again.
Apparently, she likes the song Summer Breeze, and he is low-key impressed by her taste.
He immediately pivots to asking about her ideal type. This snack dynamic literally feels like raising a digital pet once he realized snacks are his cheat code. He goes grocery shopping every single morning, loading up his backpack just to see her reaction. In just a few days of bribing her with food, he pries out almost all the habits of her sister, from height to sleep schedules. But asking about her ideal type straight to her face? Yeah, that definitely crossed his limit. Wait, what? Talk about a nightmare who does not even try to hide it. He is literally asking for every single detail. He's basically one step away from asking if her sister likes him. Does he really not care if she tells on him? Thank goodness this endless week is finally over. Once she grabs her bookstore paycheck, she can finally pay her rent tomorrow. That heavy weight dragging her down can finally be lifted. But honestly, the best part of all? She does not have to deal with that annoying guy and his endless teasing anymore. Time to pay rent and cut him off completely. Tomorrow is going to be perfect, right? Well, her boss immediately ruins the vibe with a massive stack of new books. The boss makes her lug all these heavy boxes inside and organize them before she gets paid. Now, this bookstore job is pure manual labor for pocket change, but she actually loves it because it is super quiet. Plus, working in the isolated backroom warehouse means she rarely has to deal with annoying students from her school. Usually, the owner would let her leave this for tomorrow, but with the weekend here, there is no escaping it today. If she has to finish all of this, she will be stuck working past 8 tonight. Finally, she finishes and tells Aunt Zhao everything is good to go. She asks if the owner wants to inspect the shelves first. But the owner scowls, claiming she saw creased covers and dusty spines in the back. With this quality? No way! Our girl knows those creases were there before unpacking, obviously damaged during shipping from the start. And dusting? If she had to clean every single book, she would be here until midnight. She has done this exact same routine for a month, and the owner never complained once. Why is she suddenly nitpicking right before payday? The boss just rolls her eyes and lets it slide. Here is your pay.
Our girl politely nods and promises to be more careful next time.
The lady tells her to go home since it is already dark outside. But hold on, the agreed pay was $1,200, but there are only 6 bills inside? That is literally half. Something is wrong.
Aunt Zhao immediately plays the victim card, saying she is not doing this on purpose.
Her excuse is that business has been terrible lately, so cash flow is super tight.
But they had a clear agreement, and our girl did absolutely everything requested of her.
Suddenly, the owner snaps, accusing her of secretly reading books while working in the back. She even hints that books might have gone missing because of her. That is wild. Our girl has never stolen anything and only reads after finishing all her duties. The owner cuts her off, saying she should be grateful to even have a job here. With no signed contract, the boss smugly says she can pay whatever she wants.
She tells her to take the half pay and scram, firing her on the spot. Absolute villain behavior.
Bro, this is straight up exploitation. Faced with such shameless greed, arguing is completely useless. 600 yuan is not even close to covering her rent, and now she is jobless too. How is she supposed to survive or pay rent next month? It is low-key heartbreaking.
She just needs a moment to hide all her anger and sadness in the dark.
Once she gets home, she has to put on a brave face for her sister Wanwan. Unlike other stressed high school seniors who wake up early, our girl sleeps in late on weekends.
It is her only chance to relax and escape reality for a bit.
Plus, sleeping past noon conveniently saves her from buying breakfast in this remote suburb. Cooking her own meals here is pure torture, and instant ramen gets tiring after one bowl. Eating ramen every single day is literally a slow form of torture for her. Our girl Tinghan has no idea what Fu Meng wants, but she decides to tidy up anyway. Just as she finishes, she runs into their neighbor, Mr. Yu, who is out collecting rent. Who tells Fu Meng that one of the Meng sisters was crying last night, which totally confuses him. Who advises Fu Meng to use this chance to comfort her, since girls are vulnerable when they cry. He tells him to shoot his shot, and Fu Meng nervously agrees. But when Fu Meng arrives, things immediately get incredibly awkward. She invites him inside first, not sure what to expect. Seeing her about to eat, Fu Meng asks if they can share. Honestly, their awkward tension is so good, you have to love it. Tinghan expects him to reject her, but instead, he actually sits down. She serves him a perfect fluffy bowl of eggs, leaving none for herself. The rich aroma instantly awakens his taste buds after days of eating junk. But then it hits him. Did he just eat their entire dinner? He tries to play it cool, praising her amazing cooking. Tinghan completely snaps, calling him a jerk after her brutal bookstore shift. She came home exhausted and struggled to cook a decent meal. Only for Fu Meng to eat everything, not leaving a single bite. Seeing her burst into tears, Fu Meng immediately panics and apologizes. Feeling like a total villain, he rushes out of the house. She wonders if she scared him off, worrying about the rent. Exhausted from all the crying, she decides to take a quick nap. But when she wakes up, she gets a massive surprise. Fu Meng is back, loaded with groceries to make up for eating their dinner. He bought so much food it could easily last them 2 weeks. He then asks where her sister is so they can all eat. Tinghan calls her sister Wanwan out, telling her Fu Meng brought lunch.
She keeps it casual, reassuring her sister that everything is fine.
Tinghan secretly tells Wanwan to stay quiet and let her do the talking. Since she is using her sister's identity, any slip-up would ruin the cover. And boom, twin reveal. This is where the plot gets really interesting. One is defensive and sharp, while the other is calm and quiet. He blankly admits he has not stared enough, totally mesmerized by them. He stammers a greeting, his face turning bright red. Tinghan instantly snaps at him to stop staring at her sister. Suddenly, a system notification pops up showing Tinghan's affection level shifting. Fu Meng realizes the younger sister was literally banned from talking to him.
He teases Ting Han, saying he and her sister are desk mates who chat all day. Flustered, she claims she is just worried he might scare Wanwan.
He jokes about chatting at school instead, which she reluctantly agrees to.
Honestly, this playful banter is top-tier chemistry. But then reality hits.
Tingyan suddenly remembers that they are not just normal school classmates. Fu Meng is technically her landlord, and she is just a struggling tenant. She quietly thanks him for the meal and all the groceries.
She admits she only has 800 yuan on her right now. Asking for an extension, Fu Meng jokingly reminds her she said that last week.
The main character is ready to pack up with his sister, but his classmate tells him to chill.
Basically, he is not kicking them out, but he is not letting them off the hook either.
No shoddy makes it easy.
The classmate explains he only collects rent for his mom, and constant delays look terrible on the books. They are old classmates, but he cannot just keep making exceptions forever. He needs to know what is actually going on, so he can at least make a solid excuse for his mother. What does he want to know? Simple. Our main character promised full rent, but now he's short, only holding 800. He did not lose it either. Turns out he has been working at a bookstore to scrape by. He was supposed to make 1,200 a month organizing books, but when payday came, everything went wrong. The greedy boss scammed him with only 600. That leaves him with 800. He promises to pay the rest soon. At this point, his survival depends entirely on this guy. But then, the classmate suddenly pauses. Wait, what did he say the name of that bookstore was? Cut to the bookstore. A customer is complaining that 35 yuan for a book is way too expensive.
The greedy owner says the price is fixed, but the annoying customer claims other shops sell it for way cheaper.
Fine, he will just buy it here. But then he starts nitpicking like crazy. He demands to know if it is brand new, and the owner swears it is. But our guy finds a crease, demands another, then complains the next one is dusty. The owner snaps, asking if he is looking for trouble. But this is where it gets crazy. He casually asks how business is going, completely ignoring the owner's raging attitude. The owner tells him to get lost, but the classmate brings up raising the rent. Talk about a twist. The owner threatens to call for backup, but our guy reveals he is literally the landlord here. Yes, he is here to collect the rent. The owner is absolutely stunned. Wait, the owner stammered that a boss Chin usually handles the rent. Our guy lists off the lease details, tracking the rent from 4,200 to 4,600. With the lease about to expire, he smiles and says it is time to renegotiate. The owner tries to drop names, but our guy says the old agreement is completely void. He demands 7,000 a month. The owner panics because they originally agreed on 5,000. The desperate owner immediately calls the main boss to check if this kid is for real. He complains some random kid showed up demanding 7,000 a month, and the boss on the line is completely baffled. The boss thinks it must be a scam, but the owner explains this kid knows every single detail of the contract. The boss suspects a competitor and asks for a description, so the owner hands over the phone. The boss barks through the phone, demanding to know who dares to step on his turf. Our guy jokes he heard that name since the womb. The boss instantly freezes. Son? Yep, she is literally his mom. She tells him to just handle it and hangs up on them. The owner begs, but she says to pack up if he cannot pay. Her son calls the shots. The owner is desperate now, pleading that 7,000 is too high for a small shop. Watching this guy beg, our classmate realizes the shop must be making absolute bank. He starts acting like being a landlord is super tough, complaining about rising interest rates and high maintenance costs. The owner argues a 2,000 yuan jump is insane, but our guy completely shuts him down and cuts him off. He points out worn walls and scratched shelves, basically using every excuse to squeeze him. The main character is watching this, realizing the guy is using the bookstore's own toxic excuses against them. The owner finally snaps, asking why he is being targeted when they have no beef. He tells our main character to stop hiding. He asks if she is doing okay after a day. She still vividly recalls his arrogant attitude from last night. She still feels that deep, lingering frustration. But then Fu Meng calls out the bookstore boss, asking why she is suddenly looking like a total kicked puppy, as if she's the victim. Who is a kicked puppy? The panicked boss immediately admits she was completely wrong.
Fu Meng asks what exactly she did wrong, and she confesses she shouldn't have taken advantage of young Xiao Xiao's shyness. She admits she shouldn't have made up excuses to withhold her wages, and confesses that she didn't actually steal any books or the phone, she just lied about it. She confesses she lied on purpose back then. Fu Meng just shrugs and tells Boss Zhao to cut the act. He tells her that if she keeps up this honest attitude, her rent can be negotiated. Boss Zhao quickly turns to Xiao Xia, handing over her unpaid wages.
The boss tells her to take the money, explaining that if Fu Meng doesn't accept, her rent spikes to 7,000, so this extra cash is basically a bonus.
She apologizes, saying that paying only 600 for hours of daily bookstore work was indeed too little, admitting she was in the wrong.
She begs Xiao Xiao to ask her landlord friend to let her off this time. Xiao Jia tells her it is up to her, but thanks her for the job. Fu Meng then chimes in, saying since she put it that way, he will make a deal.
He agrees the rent doesn't have to be 7,000, lowering it to 6,000 instead, which the boss has no choice but to accept.
Xiao Xiao is completely stunned. He literally threw all those harsh words right back at the boss. Talk about an epic comeback. She starts wondering if this guy is actually a saint or a villain. As he chuckles, she suddenly apologizes. He is confused. Why is she saying sorry? Honestly, so many things have changed. The once friendly boss Zhao turned on her for a few bucks. What a terrible villain. While Fu Meng, whom she wrote off as a playboy, repeatedly let her slide on rent.
And today, he even came all this way to get every single cent of her withheld wages back. He mutters that even though he didn't catch her whispering, he accepts her apology, adding that marrying him to repay the debt would be even better.
Yep, he is still a total playboy at heart. Classic male lead behavior. But then she asks why he actually helped them. He casually explains that since he is classmates and super close friends with her younger sister, helping out the older sister was just a given. Super close? Xiao Yao rolls her eyes because her sister literally ignores him at school. She is convinced he just has a massive hidden agenda to get close to her. Fu Meng admits he doesn't really mind her sister's cold attitude. Since they are desk mates and he has been feeding her for days, helping was no big deal.
She softly thanks him, but he laughs, asking her to speak clearly, since she keeps flipping between sorry and thank you.
Seriously, it is making him hesitant to even accept her tea. Later, she mentions she overheard him outside and worries that raising the rent like that might cause trouble. He just scoffs, asking if she is seriously still worrying about that terrible boss. He complains that she cannot even tell who the good guy is here, but tells her not to worry. He explains that even if you raise the rent to 7,000, the boss would still pay because the location is prime, and if she leaves, plenty of other tenants are waiting. Since the boss could make up such ridiculous lies, she shouldn't blame Fu Meng for using her own deceptive words right back against her. Exactly, she brought this entire mess on herself, plain and simple. Xiao Xia admits she is still somewhat grateful to Boss Xiao, since she was completely desperate for a job during summer break until she finally took her in. He teases her for acting so noble when she still accepted that extra 500. She snaps back that it was her hard-earned money. Not happening. She hands the cash over, saying it is for dinner. Honestly, just that single lunch alone was incredibly massive and fancy, with more than enough delicious food to feed her and her little sister for days. She insists she definitely deserved that $500. After all, she had to rush to the bookstore immediately after school every single day. The tiny warehouse was suffocatingly hot without even a fan, and she had to organize books one by one. The issue is fully resolved, but she wonders why he is still following her. Is he seriously trying to crash at her place for another free meal? Though honestly, she wouldn't really mind feeding him again. She stops and asks Fu Meng why he is still trailing behind. He simply grins, saying he is waiting for her rent. He playfully teases that she has been rambling for so long just to make him sleepy so she can sneak out of paying her rent. She fires back that her rent is fully paid, silently calling him a dense idiot. He stops her, pointing out that while she is fully caught up on this month's rent, next month is a different story. Sure, he helped her get her hard-earned wages back, but since she just lost her job, he asks how she plans to pay rent next month. She stammers that she will just look for odd jobs, but he scoffs, pointing out the date and questioning if a new employer would even pay her in time. He warns her that she cannot just keep asking for rent extensions every single month. But then he drops a highly interesting proposal on her, mentioning that he is planning to move and wants a convenient area with lots of good food around.
He suggests that her neighborhood, Jingsu New Village, would be absolutely perfect due to its amazing food spots and easy transit.
It is super close to school and there is a whole food street downstairs, but here's the catch. Living alone and cleaning sounds like a total hassle, so Jianxia calls him out. Did he really just do all this to hire her as his maid? She tells Fu Meng that even though he helped get her unpaid wages back, she is absolutely not wearing some frilly maid outfit or calling him master. Fu Meng is completely dumbfounded. He asks if she watches too many weird shows, since he did not mention the word maid even once. He did not even suggest anything like that, but she went ahead and imagined the entire maid and master scenario all by herself. Talk about a wild imagination. But honestly, the actual job is just light cleaning and cooking after school for a couple of hours. He only needs her to cook dinner on weekdays while handling the meals on weekends using the ingredients he provides.
Jianxia and her sister can even work together for 1,200 yuan a month, which is exactly what she made at her old job.
He calls it a housekeeping auntie gig, but she immediately rejects that title because it sounds way too old. So he jokes that she can just be his maid instead. Honestly, even though Fu Meng likes to tease, he is actually incredibly sweet. He acts like a playboy, but his actions are completely different. He has been quietly helping her out this entire time. She realizes the whole cleaning and cooking thing is just his excuse to offer her some financial stability without hurting her pride. It is a super thoughtful gesture, but Jianxia still wants to try standing on her own 2 feet first.
She politely declines, choosing to look for another job. Even though nodding yes right now would solve her rent worries, she hesitates.
She does not want to live in fear of eviction, but she desperately wants to keep her dignity intact in front of him. Just like when she insisted on paying him back those 300 yuan. But Fu Meng instantly reads her mind and asks if she thinks this is pity. She tells him it feels exactly like pity. Why else would a rich young heir leave his massive mansion to hang out in her rundown neighborhood? Fu Meng laughs and says she should actually visit his place before calling it a mansion. He is not doing this for some rich kid life experience. He is literally just trying to escape a primitive lifestyle and survive. Then he drops some truth on her. He admits he was hunting for a new place long before they met because his current house is basically a survival challenge. It is freezing in the winter and boiling in the summer. The utility bills are insane and the wireless internet signal is completely non-existent. The walls block every signal and he has to bike 40 grueling minutes to school every day. He is totally done with that place. Jianxia asks why he chose her neighborhood out of all the places in the city. His answer is simple. He is absolutely hooked on her cooking. Seriously, he is a massive foodie. He asks if she has any idea how painful it is for someone like him to starve. Living on terrible self-made food and instant noodles is absolute torture. He genuinely just wants her delicious meals. Yes, he is that desperate. So he begs her to save his life and just accept the maid job already. Later that evening, she asks her little sister Wanwan if everything is okay. Wanwan happily explains how Fu Meng helped them get their money back and how their old boss looked completely furious. Wow, that is actually crazy. This is already the 3rd time Wanwan has praised this guy. Jianxia is amused. Sure, he helped them out, but he is literally trying to recruit her sister as a maid, and she is still calling him a saint? She asks Wanwan to tell her the absolute truth. Has Fu Meng ever tried to talk to her before? If they have never even spoken, how did this guy manage to completely win her little sister over? She tells Wanwan to have a little snack first while she grabs a quick shower. Then they can heat up some dinner. Honestly, nothing beats a hot shower after a stressful day. She stands under the warm water, letting her thoughts drift back to their conversation. She still cannot believe she let him convince her. It is honestly kind of wild how easily he broke through her walls. She had already flat out rejected his offer. And yet, that idiot spoke with so much passion that she somehow ended up nodding along and agreeing. She actually agreed, even though Fu Meng sounded sincere about it just being housework. But looking back, does that not sound like the exact trap a player uses to trick naive girls? Saying he only craves her cooking is such a classic line, but as she enjoys the hot water, she has to admit he is right. Fu Meng was right about the convenience. The workplace is literally right next door to her house. Her little sister will never have to starve while waiting for her to come home, and she will not have to worry about leaving her alone. Working from home, solid pay, easy hours, plus free meals. The setup is literally perfect. Except for her chaotic boss who absolutely loves to tease her every chance he gets. But hey, you gotta admit, she looks pretty cute in this outfit. No wonder he keeps staring. But wait, she definitely cannot make it any smaller.
Alright, so she is just going with the flow for now.
But then, boom, she suddenly realizes something huge.
She completely overlooked a massive problem here. She only let her sister go to school because of a misunderstanding.
She wanted to pay rent and completely cut ties with Fu Meng, but the author had other plans. Instead of acting tough, she got dragged along like a lost puppy just to get her back pay. And now this guy is her official boss. If her sister Wanwan goes to school, it is game over. Fu Meng is definitely going to pass secret notes to Wanwan, and her sister is weirdly nice to him. If this keeps happening, she is literally going to lose her mind.
So she tells Wanwan to start school on Tuesday instead, claiming she has some errands on Monday.
Honestly, this pacing is top tier because she realizes confessing is way better than getting caught red-handed. Which means she has to admit to Fu Meng that she has been using her sister's identity this whole time.
She is so incredibly cooked.
But wait, she forgot to refill her water bottle after lunch. Fu Meng tells her to use a cup instead of drinking straight from the bottle. She quickly apologizes, realizing she crossed a line in the heat of the moment. But Fu Meng is like, hey, your sister is not around to block us, so let's finally chat.
Wait, is she not worried about exposing her identity, or is she just mad about the cup?
This is totally not how her sister would react. Does she really care that much about a water bottle? Honestly, she is not mad about the cup. She is just dreading the confession she has to make today. Pretending to be her sister while describing her own likes and dislikes is literally a fate worse than death. Plus, she was the one who apologized for herself, and she had to answer his questions about her own hobbies. No wonder she kept him away from her sister at home. She was terrified of slipping up. And he did not even touch the cup. He just drank from a distance. So why is she still mad? Finally, she calms down and he tells her to meet him after class. He wants her to wait in the woods behind the school. Wait, after school? The woods? A private meeting with a blushing girl? Yeah, putting those things together sounds incredibly sketchy, but let's see where this goes. Honestly, you've got to admit she looks incredibly pretty. What is she spacing out about? He is literally right next to her and she still hasn't reacted. He casually waves hello and asks why she dragged him all the way out to these quiet woods. He playfully teases Meng Jianxia, joking that maybe her sister finally fell for him and sent her here as a spy to secretly test his feelings. Sighing softly, he acts like his insane charm is a massive curse and that he shouldn't get too close to her sister because he's completely focused on his studies. With absolutely zero interest in romance, saying he'll only end up breaking her poor heart. Whoa, hold on! He yells that gentlemen use words, not fists. Honestly, is Meng Jianxia completely losing her mind today? Why is she dropping her disguise without even trying? He asks why she acts so differently here than at home, telling her to first promise not to hit him. So what did she actually call him out here for anyway? Surely they didn't meet alone in this quiet little pavilion just for her to ask a favor. Like suddenly pulling out a math test and demanding he explain the questions. But instead, she literally writes down that she is actually Meng Jianxia.
Wait, what is that supposed to mean? Why is she suddenly revealing her real identity out of nowhere? Why isn't she afraid of him finding out anymore? Honestly, he wasn't even done teasing her yet, so he tries to play dumb, calling her Lin.
Tingwan, asking why she is lying and how she could possibly be her own sister. At that, she completely snaps, calling him a dead jerk and yelling that he should finally get it. He laughs, teasing her that student Meng Tingwan can actually speak after all. Even though she had already rehearsed a million embarrassing ways she would suffer absolute social death right on the spot before opening her mouth, she still desperately felt the need to prove who she really was. The moment she admits she is actually his online friend Meng Jianxia, a sudden wave of panic hits her. What if he thinks she was just playing with him for fun? What if he thinks her help was all a lie? She is terrified he might just get angry and walk away. She wanted to cut ties, but now her heart completely sinks. Her chest literally tightens up with worry. But wait, he does not seem mad at all, which is honestly such a relief. She nervously asks if he has anything to say, fully expecting him to yell at her for lying this whole time.
Instead, he just laughs and tells her he will stop teasing her now.
He admits he already knew her secret, though he confesses that playing along was probably a bit sketchy of him. Seeing her tear up, our boy panics and immediately starts apologizing, begging her to stop crying.
She tried to comfort herself earlier, thinking losing a job was the worst that could happen.
But another voice inside her head kept getting louder.
It completely suffocates her because she is terrified of going back to that cold, lonely, silent world.
She would miss the draft book sliding over and the cute snacks he always left for her. She would miss his chaotic energy. Maybe it is not love, just a lonely girl who has been silent for too long. She finally found her ray of light, and she was so scared she just ruined everything.
Meanwhile, Waifu Meng is realizing his little joke might have gone a bit too far.
He knew she was the silent student, yet he kept teasing her and asking about her ideal type. Now he is panicking because they are supposed to move in together and he already offended his future cook.
What if she poisons his food? She then asks him.
When did you realize I was not my sister Wanwan?
He explains it was not long ago. Her weird morning behavior and how she kept him from her sister gave it away. So all those questions he asked earlier were completely on purpose.
He jokingly begs for mercy, saying he does not want to black out during dinner,
and end up as a ghost poisoned by his own personal chef.
She asks if her cooking job is still on. He confirms it is, and they can move in this weekend.
He is not letting his personal chef go. Since he messed up, she demands 3 strict ground rules. First, pay her on time with no random cuts. Second, she only does cooking and basic chores. She leaves right on the dot. As for the third rule, she has not decided yet. She will let him know later, which he accepts. Then, she asks if he wants to know why she is replacing her sister. He is surprised she's opening up and playfully begs to hear the story.
She asks if he knows anything about Wanwan. He admits he barely knows her.
Since she was the one attending school, he never had a chance to meet her.
The teacher said Wanwan is mute and hard of hearing, but she reveals it is actually psychological.
Physically, she is completely fine. She just refuses to speak. Her hearing is also normal, but they made up those excuses so people would stop bothering her. If she does not reply, people assume she did not hear, and eventually they leave her alone.
Dealing with classmates is a massive, exhausting burden to Wanwan. She actually despises school. She only feels safe in her room, which is why her sister took her place.
But Waifu Meng points out that the sister he saw does not seem like that at all. Wait, is there a plot twist cooking here? Jianxia points out that Wanwan treats him differently.
And then she asks the big question. When exactly did he seduce her sister? He desperately defends himself, swearing he never even spoke to her. He tells her to ask her sister herself. She explains she just could not let Wanwan go alone.
What if she got bullied? She would never complain. It was the only way to protect her.
So she basically took a leave of absence to attend classes for her and look after her.
Wait, so you've been working part-time and taking care of Meng Tingwan this whole time? Well, obviously. Oh, really? Then who got their pay docked, cried all night, and didn't even notice their food was gone?
Seriously, how did you even survive before you met me? What do you mean by that?
I had a steady job before, okay? My rent was always paid on time. With financial aid, my allowance, and some side gigs, things were actually going pretty well. If that shop hadn't suddenly moved, the money would have been more than enough. This is low-key heartbreaking. This fragile girl was quietly fighting so hard to survive in her own way. But
I guess I should tease her less. We'll get through this. Wanwan and I always do. That's how we've beaten every single challenge. Anyway, I'm heading back now.
Don't you dare tell anyone about our situation, especially not about Wanwan and me.
Wait, why tell me all this now? Usually, wouldn't you want to keep this a secret? Did you finally realize I'm actually a good guy?
In your dreams, I forgot to mention. I swear, I don't know what kind of spell Fu Meng cast on my sister. Wanwan is coming to school tomorrow. If you bully her, you're dead. Good guy? Please. Hold up. Did she just say the real Meng Tingwan is coming to school tomorrow? Wait, if what Meng Jianxia said is true, then the girl sitting next to me isn't the sister. It's the actual twin, the real Meng Tingwan. Hey there, Meng Tingwan.
It's the exact same format, but she makes it look so cute, while mine looks completely dumb. Wait, why is there absolutely no reaction? Do I seriously need to bribe her with snacks, too?
After trying a few times, I'm certain, notes or snacks, she simply does not want to talk. This is crazy. Why did my favorability completely reset when she's normally so sweet at home?
But here at school, she won't even look at me. Hey, Meng Jianxia! If she were Meng Jianxia, she'd definitely react to that. Just glare at me already. So the girl next to me really is Meng Tingwan. School is basically a fortress to her.
And her only defense mechanism is locking herself away from everyone.
She's like a completely different person. Hey, Meng, did you confess already?
Wait, where did you even hear that? Some guys in our class said. They saw you two in the gazebo yesterday. Dong Chengze is spreading rumors behind your back.
Hey, Dong Chengse, shut it! Weren't you two in the pavilion yesterday? What's wrong with saying that? Being in a gazebo means a confession? By that logic, holding an umbrella is eloping. Who are you trying to protect anyway? It's not like she can even hear you. She's literally deaf and mute, so who cares what I say? Why are you shouting?
You weren't this quiet when spreading lies. You want to fight or what?
Teacher Zhang, you told us on day 1 that we should never look down on others.
But he threw the first punch. And honestly, yeah, I did hit him first.
I just lost my temper in the moment, teacher. It wasn't a real brawl.
Flipping desks is absolutely unacceptable. Fu Meng, go run 5 laps right now. Dong Tingze, stay here.
We need to talk. We have to notify your parents about this. I've already called your mom. She wants to talk to you. Hey, Mom. Your teacher said you fought over a girl? No way, Mom. I was just standing up for justice.
I just flipped a desk. Nobody even got hurt. Is that student a girl?
Your teacher said she's your desk partner. Yes, but anyone would get mad hearing those awful rumors. Plus, seeing Fu Meng step up like a real hero for her, honestly, he's literally him. It doesn't matter if it's a boy or a girl. By the way, is your new apartment in Jinshu New Village?
No way it's that coincidental. Is the late rent tenant really that pretty desk mate you wanted to save?
He's acting like a master detective with his mom, but then he fakes a bad signal to hang up. Somehow, his heart flutters. A soft, gentle feeling, just like a feather drifting by.
Wait, the lunch bell hasn't even rung yet. Why did she wake up so fast?
Now here's the real problem. What do you do when you stare at your pretty desk mate, she catches you red-handed, and you're panicking online?
Wait, she doesn't seem mad at all.
What's going on here? The landlord hands over the keys. He tells them to call if they need anything. This apartment is basically a luxury suite for an old neighborhood.
3 bedrooms, renovated floors, even the Wi-Fi is ready. It's a perfect move-in setup. Wait, does Meng Jianxia still not know we moved in next door? Time to go pay her a visit.
He knocks on the door. Wait, what is she doing? Seriously, he's only visited her 3 times, but each time he unlocks a new version. First was her defensive mode against bullies.
Second was her pitiful mode, dealing with no pay and a heartless landlord demanding rent. And this time, she's wearing an apron, basically in cute housewife mode.
She asks what the big news is, telling him to hurry because she's cooking.
So he explains the rent situation is actually about the apartment next door.
He just found out his mom rented his place to someone else and they're moving in tomorrow.
Since he can't stay here, he tells her their deal about her cooking and doing chores is probably off.
But she immediately panics, saying if he finds another place, she can move there with him. She really wants to. RMC can barely hold in his laughter, apologizing for teasing her. He swallows the joke because he values his life, but teasing her is just too much fun. He quickly clears it up, explaining the landlord just wanted him to check the place next door. He drops the bomb, teasing Meng Jianxia about how badly she wants to be his little maid. Blushing, she immediately deflects, saying she needs to cook before her sister starves. But he's not budging, jokingly telling her that even if she tries to kick him out, he's staying.
Then she asks him to go talk to her sister, Wanwan, which completely catches him off guard.
Since when did he and Wanwan get along so well? That's news to him.
He doesn't remember hanging out with Meng Tingwan at all, but she sends him in anyway.
She warns him to keep the door open so she can watch, talk only, no funny business. But is she really that trusting? Leaving a guy and a girl alone in a room, he gets absolutely no response.
And let's be honest, Meng Tianwan doesn't exactly seem like the welcoming type either.
She's just vibing in her room, listening to her favorite song, and singing along like nobody is watching. Honestly, it's pretty adorable. Just complete peace and quiet. She keeps humming away, totally lost in her own little world. Just pure, cute, slice-of-life vibes right here.
Our MC is just standing there, not wanting to ruin the moment.
What is he even supposed to say to her?
But then, out of nowhere, Meng Tianwan gives him a sudden, lavender-scented hug.
A quiet, warm embrace. Real talk, our guy is a high school senior and hasn't even held a girl's hand yet. And remember, Meng Jianxia literally just warned him not to do anything funny. If she turns around right now, forget dinner. He'll be lucky to leave this apartment on his own 2 feet. She says she just likes hugs because they feel nice. Like, come on, at least tell him you've had a crush on him for years? Fu Meng is completely baffled. Hugging because it feels nice is a wild explanation. Her mental health issues are way worse than he thought.
This poor girl has literally zero social experience. No flirting, no talking to boys, not even passing secret notes in class. So after reading some romance novel, she straight up hugged him just to try it, with absolutely no idea what it actually meant. But when she fell into his arms, it was like a tired bird finally returning to its nest. Talk about a super wholesome moment. Her innocent logic makes sense, but Fu Meng has to remind her that novels are not real life. He tells her she really shouldn't copy those things. It's pretty hard to explain boy-girl boundaries to someone this pure. But wait, whose book is this? Leaving spicy romance novels in her innocent sister's room is definitely going to corrupt her.
It turns out the book belongs to the older sister, Meng Jianxia. Who knew that prickly hedgehog secretly read cheesy romance books?
Fu Ming patiently warns Wanwan that she cannot just go around hugging boys like that anymore. She innocently asks why, and he is just completely speechless. He never expected a private room chat with a gorgeous girl would turn into a literal boundary lecture, and he is the teacher. Meanwhile, Meng Jianxia is secretly watching from the door, realizing he is not trying any funny business. After watching them for a bit, she figures out that Fu Meng is mostly just verbally cheeky.
He's actually way more well-behaved than he looks. She only tolerates him because he genuinely helps her sister recover. Otherwise, there is no way she would ever allow a guy to set foot in her room. But hey, as long as it helps her sister, she's willing to overlook it. Nothing bad'll happen, right? Back inside, Fu Meng asks Wanwan if she finally memorized his rules.
You smell nice.
He laughs it off as laundry detergent and tells her it's time to eat.
But she just looks at him and asks if they can hug now. He completely loses it. He literally just spent 10 minutes explaining the strict boundaries between guys and girls. He expected her to nod and show some kind of realization. Instead, after his heartfelt lecture, she just writes down the exact same question in her notebook. Can we hug now? All his talking went completely down the drain. He firmly tells her no. She cannot just ask for hugs like that. But seeing her pout is just too adorable, making it impossible to stay mad at this precious girl. Later at dinner, Meng Jianxia acts tough by claiming she poisoned the food, but she still sets his table. Talk about top-tier service! She snaps at him to eat or get out right now. Fu Meng jokes that he'd happily eat her poison anyway, but as he digs in, he notices her staring. He politely tells his host to start eating first. She scoffs and tells him to slow down. Honestly, seeing him enjoy her food is secretly the best reward. He's absolutely convinced that hiring this tsundere as his chef is the best decision he's ever made. Meng Jianxia then tells Wanwan that Fu Meng is moving next door, so she'll be cooking for him daily. It's way easier than working at the bookstore, and she promises to cook whatever Wanwan wants. Since Fu Meng is buying all the groceries, he is totally down. He'll pay, and she'll cook. He suggests they just eat together at his place, but she immediately shuts it down. No way is she letting her sister go over. He asks when he can move in. She says tomorrow morning, and they can shop for groceries together since she's making lunch too. He teases her, and she retorts that she obviously won't let him cook his own meals. Since his official maid contract starts tomorrow, she cooked this meal today just to thank him for hosting. Dinner is over, and Fu Meng gets ready to leave. But surprisingly, Wanwan follows him all the way to the door. Meng Jianxia is left wondering what he said to her.
Before stepping out, he casually warns her to hide her trashy romance novels so they don't corrupt her innocent sister.
That completely blows her mind.
Her face turns bright red, and she keeps trying to convince herself she definitely does not have feelings for him.
All right, so our boy complains that Jianxia is totally overreacting just because he took a quick peek at her novel.
She tells him to slow down since that box is extremely heavy, secretly wondering if he came downstairs just to wait for her. Since there is no elevator, and that heavy box is no joke,
Jianxia thinks the luggage is way too heavy for his slim frame, asking why he is acting tough instead of waiting for her.
but our boy claims he was just being a good guy by helping her move, then suddenly hands over a red envelope as a start of work bonus. He teases her that her wages start today, threatening to take the cash back unless she says a loud and clear thank you.
Oh, the keys.
He shows off the newly renovated apartment, boasting about the fresh paint, brand new furniture, and a completely customized kitchen.
Our boy even got a top-tier range hood, a full cooking set, and a massive fridge specifically for her.
Honestly, for a girl who actually loves to cook, this beautiful setup is an absolute dream come true.
Her old kitchen was basically a cramped closet without even a stove fan, so our boy asks if she needs landlord Lai to buy anything else.
Jianxia says everything is perfect, so he suggests they head out to kill some time before lunch.
They need to buy some new clothes and stock up on groceries, but when she asks what clothes, he drops the maid outfit bomb.
He insists she has to wear a maid outfit, but our girl instantly rejects the idea with absolute disgust.
She reminds him of their strict agreement to only handle cooking and basic cleaning, drawing a hard line at anything weird. But our boy uses some flawless anime logic, arguing that cafes, hotels, and schools all have uniforms, so being a maid is no different. He tries to gaslight her into thinking it is just standard work clothes, but she is definitely not falling for it.
She calls him out for trying to satisfy a weird fetish, asking if he expects his actual high school classmate to wear a frilly skirt. Our girl asks if he wants her to bow and serve tea while calling him master, like in those wild manga, telling him his fantasy is way too detailed.
Our boy is actually pretty impressed and fires back, teasing Jianxia that she must read some wild stuff herself to know all those details.
He asks if the manga she reads are even family-friendly, but she just declares she is absolutely not wearing that outfit.
Laughing it off, he admits he was just teasing her because local shops would never sell anything like that.
He explains that the maid title is just a joke since he is honestly only here for her god-tier cooking skills.
Our boy just needs to buy some new shirts for himself, but adds that a real maid outfit would need to be custom tailored.
Cheap ones look terrible, and my standards are pretty high.
Jianxia quickly changes the subject, reminding him that they need to head out to buy food.
She gives him a friendly warning that he is in charge of his own room and any mess is on him.
But since he is the boss who pays her wages, she happily agrees and follows him out.
When he asks where they are going, she points out that she literally has no idea.
Since she just arrived 30 minutes ago, they decide to shop for clothes first, then grab groceries.
Confused as to why he wants her help with fashion, she points out her wardrobe is basically just black and gray. She laughs because she literally only wears school uniforms, but he smoothly replies that she is the only girl he actually knows.
Giving up on arguing, she asks what he wants, so he suggests a few casual shirts and jackets.
To make sure he does not expect expensive designer brands, she proudly shows off her super cheap 29.9 yuan t-shirt.
Leading the way, she warns him that his options might be pretty limited around here.
This local street is famous for its night market, packed with stalls selling delicious grilled fish, barbecue, and hot noodles. He teasingly asks if they sell any of her premium novels here, but she shuts him down immediately.
But she actually had to eat alone most of the time due to her tight budget and tuition fees.
Our boy realizes she probably could never afford to eat here often, which makes him feel pretty bad.
He compares his own struggle of finding food with her being surrounded by delicious snacks she cannot die. So he silently promises to spoil her with tons of amazing food as her employee perks from now on.
She leads him into a budget clothing store she trusts, hoping he can find something decent.
When the shop assistant asks if she is picking out clothes for her boyfriend, Jianxia immediately blushes and panics.
She stammers that they are just normal classmates, while the assistant turns to ask our boy about his style.
Telling her to ask him directly, our boy holds back his laughter so she will still cook him lunch. The store assistant guides them inside and asks what kind of style he usually wears.
He says he just wants something simple and comfortable for school, so they hand him some loose fits to try.
He tells Meng Jianxia to pull herself together, since panicking over the Shen family's gossip only makes her look guilty.
They are literally just innocent classmates, so he wishes Meng Jianxia would just chill out already.
He asks how the new outfit looks, and she admits the hoodie frames his shoulders perfectly. But those pants? She complains that the pants look lifeless and makes him spin around, even though he grumbles that he is not a model. She demands he switch to straight-cut pants to show off his long legs, completely ignoring his claims that the current ones are fine. She cuts off his complaints, telling him to stop talking, while the assistant eagerly runs to fetch better options.
The pants actually look decent, but then she suddenly orders him to take his shirt off right there. She laughs and says she only meant his jacket, teasing him for being so shy around her. Rustle, rustle.
She urges him to put it on so she can judge, and he decides to just enjoy the VIP treatment. But she feels like something is still missing. He nervously asks why she's staring so close. Honestly, this tension is wild. At this distance, they are either about to kiss or throw hands. He realizes she is basically treating him like a real-life dress-up doll. He is naturally good-looking, and this fresh look is miles better than his usual boring black and white outfits. He calls her a miracle worker and begs Dr. Meng Jianxia to style a few more outfits for him. She tells him to ask the store assistant instead, while secretly feeling pretty proud of her masterpiece. She tells him to follow her so they can pick more, but warns him to stay back.
She insists on a 3-meter limit as the cashier charges them 792 yuan.
He asks why she isn't buying anything, but classmate Meng Jianxia just tells him to mind his own business. Still, she was super eager while styling 3 outfits, and honestly, seeing them look this good is a massive payoff.
Now they are off to buy groceries, but he has to run just to keep up with her. He reminds her they literally agreed to get food and cook together, but she looks super embarrassed.
She warns him not to mention cooking together in front of other people, leaving him totally baffled. She stammers that grocery shopping together makes them look like a couple, but he just plays dumb. She realizes Fu Meng is totally playing with her, threatening to make him buy his own groceries if he keeps acting up. He laughs it off, saying it is not that deep, and they probably just think they are siblings. She points back at the crowd, asking if they honestly look like siblings to anyone. She argues that siblings do not go grocery shopping together, challenging him to name who else would. He shrugs and says it does not matter as long as they both know they are completely innocent. She accepts that answer, but when she asks how he will explain their relationship next time, he jokes they are master and servant. She smacks him, but he laughs and points out that roughhousing in public makes them look even more like a couple. He teases her some more, but she threatens to poison his dinner if he says one more word. He asks if they are going to a supermarket, but she calls him young master and explains the local open-air market is way better. He immediately surrenders, saying she is the chef, so he will follow her lead. She asks what he wants to eat, but he claims he is not a picky eater. He tells her to just pick what she and her sister like, admitting this is his first time in a real open-air market. Since his mom usually buys everything, she challenges him to try buying 2 pounds of potatoes himself. He politely asks the vendor for the price, and she immediately clocks him as a pampered student. The vendor quotes 3 yuan a pound, and he happily agrees while asking her to pick the best ones. But he notices the vendor looking at him weirdly. She sighs and calls him an idiot for agreeing so fast, whispering that 3 yuan is way too expensive. She says 1.5 is the absolute max, completely annoyed that the vendor tried to rip off her clueless friend. Forget it, I'm buying. You just stand there and watch how I pick and haggle. Got it? He replies, yes, ma'am. Auntie Sun spots them and asks if Xiaoming is out buying groceries this early. Xiaoming explains she wants to stock up today. Then the auntie asks if she's got a new man. Did you get a boyfriend? He looks so sharp and energetic. Xiaoming immediately panics and tries to shut down the teasing, but there is no stopping this. She claims Fu Meng is just an ordinary friend, but the auntie laughs and tells her not to be shy. A guy willing to accompany you to the wet market is rare. If you keep teasing me, auntie, I'll go buy from another stand. The auntie turns to Fu Meng, bragging about how Xiaoming is simple, hardworking, sweet-tempered, and honestly, so beautiful. She warns him to treat her right and never bully her. Fu Meng agrees right away. He promises he will treat her incredibly well. Back to reality, Fu Meng promises he won't say anything stupid again. Xiao Meng reminds him of his promise to treat her well, so he has to carry every single bag of meat and veggies they buy.
He asks what she is planning, but she calmly replies that she is only buying enough food for 3 people to survive a week. Honestly, seeing them struggle with all those heavy bags is just too hilarious. They are completely exhausted now. Xiaomeng asks if he can even handle it since she helped carry some. Fumeng whines that she is only holding light veggies while he has the rice and oil. She tells him she doesn't care since he was the one trying to show off. Climbing 5 flights of stairs is rough, but Fumeng says it's worth it for her cooking. He heads out but promises to return for dinner. She offers to invite his younger sister Wanwan over to eat since it is just next door. Fumeng sighs, saying it is impossible because Wanwan barely leaves her bedroom, let alone comes over to his place to eat. Before leaving, he tries to return something to her, but she insists it was always meant to be hers. She jokes that she's his official maid now, so she can't expect him to open the door for her every single time she visits. Besides, tomorrow is Sunday and he'll be sleeping in. Without a spare key, how is she supposed to get in and cook him breakfast? Oh. Xiaomeng gets back home and calls out to Wanwan, surprised because her sister usually never leaves her bedroom at this hour. She has never actively waited for her before. Xiaomeng asks why she came out and if she was waiting for her sister.
She gently asks if she's hungry, offering the food she brought back.
It's filled with all her favorites. Wanwan softly asks if her sister has eaten, and Xiaomeng nods. She then asks if she ended up eating with Fumeng instead. Xiaomeng admits she helped him cook and just grabbed a bite while she was at it. But as her sister's mental health got worse, she barely spoke more than a single word to anyone. Xiaomeng can't even tell what she's thinking anymore. If she keeps isolating herself like this, things will only get worse. She desperately needs human connection. Making a friend would be ideal, but Xiaomeng can't even remember the last time Wanwan actively started a conversation with someone. Since Fumeng is the only other person she talks to, she asks Wanwan what she truly thinks about him. Wanwan thinks about it, saying that besides being a nice guy, he feels very comfortable. Xiao Ming finds that description a bit odd, so she asks what they even talked about in her room yesterday. Wanwan tells her that Fumeng mentioned her sister sent him over just to keep her company. Feeling guilty for doubting his intentions, she resolves to make him extra food tomorrow before asking what else they discussed. Wanwan replies that Fumeng asked her who wrote that novel. Shocked, Xiaoming asks why she was reading that kind of book. Wanwan simply found it in the bookshelf. Xiaomeng panics inwardly, realizing her deep hiding spot failed and her sister completely exposed her to Fumam. Xiaoming then gently asks if Wanwan dislikes talking to Fuming. She says she doesn't hate it. That's a huge step. Xiaoming excitedly asks if she would like Fumeng to come over and talk with her every single day. How is it? He promised himself he would sleep in, but nope. Honestly, a fully stocked fridge is the ultimate cozy vibe. Haha, looking forward to working with you. Seriously, who just hands over their house keys like that? He is low-key happy. As a chef, watching her eat is the real mission. Hey, rise and shine, it is almost 10 and your breakfast is cold. He just tells her to bring it inside, which is wild. Wait, she actually came in? What are you doing in here? Wait, what? You literally told me to bring it in. Huh, thanks, but wait, get out of here right now. No way. What an absolute jerk! But she needs help for her sister, so why this embarrassment first? She is totally mortified, but she still mumbles a quick morning. The breakfast was actually amazing, but wait, did she wake him up just to nap here? It is almost 10 a.m. and you just woke up. Nobody sleeps like you. Fair point, but why is she still hanging around? Waiting for him? Come on, he helped her so much. She just wants to thank him. So, how does she want to thank him? Just don't poison his food. He asks if 1,200 is enough for her and Wanwan. She says they get some support. Plus, they have been freeloading his meals, making things way more comfortable than she ever expected. He wonders if they can apply for disability aid. Psychological issues are just way too hard to certify. Alright, so here is the twist. She actually has a massive favor to ask. He tells her to shoot. It is about Meng Tingwan, right? She is willing to give up her entire salary for this. She will even bring breakfast to his bedside every morning. But wait, is she trying to offer herself? This is getting wild. Is she matchmaking her sister? No, this is actually help Wanwan heal. But can chatting really cure a mental illness?
Wanwan wasn't born mute, it was trauma. The doctor said there is no medicine, she just needs to go outside. No more isolating herself. But she barely talks to anyone. Even with teachers, she only nods.
Except for one guy.
But yesterday made it clear he is built different to Wanwan. If she is telling the truth, then Wanwan really does treat him differently. Way more intense than she knows. She is literally offering to cook 3 meals a day for free, which is an insane sacrifice. Especially during senior year. But this is her only hope of saving Wanwan. She cannot give up.
He tells her to keep the salary. It just goes back to him as rent anyway.
Plus, if she goes broke, she will just cry again. Which she immediately denies.
Meng Ting finally gives in, agreeing to let him be her sister's companion.
She warns him up front that if she ignores him, it is not his fault. Then softly thanks him.
He gets called a total
good person. Our boy gets hit with the dreaded friend zone card and begs her to stop. Besides, getting to chat with a cute girl daily is a total win that anyone would love.
He asks when is the best time to visit, suggesting they just start right now.
She begs him to fulfill whatever request Wanwan might make, no matter what.
Our girl even offers to pay for everything out of her salary, which is low-key heartbreaking. He points out how she starves herself but spends easily on her sister's treatment. A soft sound breaks the silence.
She excitedly tells Wanwan that Fumeng is here, making it sound like a play date.
He thinks to himself that this literally sounds like a kindergarten visit. The quiet sister silently gestures for him to sit next to her. At this point, he is already here, so he might as well go with it.
He tries to start a conversation by asking Meng Ting why she is not reading.
But she completely ignores him, leaving him standing there like a total clown. He wonders if he totally misread her vibe last night, or if she's already over it. Out of nowhere, things take a turn. She suddenly asks what they want for lunch, offering to cook some mapo tofu. Meng Ting tells Fumeng to stay and keep Wanwan company, strictly warning him not to bully her. He's shocked she's just leaving, since last time she kept a close eye on them. This level of trust is actually crazy, since she used to treat him like a total thief.
Besides, she was totally ignoring him, so it's not like she will suddenly start talking.
Suddenly, Wanwan speaks up, whispering that her sister's actually hiding, which completely baffles him. Realizing she heard everything, he asks why she only speaks when her sister's not around.
She admits her sister would worry, so he changes the subject, asking what she is watching. Hearing that, she says she is just looking at clouds, leaving him completely speechless.
Her simple nod completely kills the vibe, leaving our guy scrambling to find something to say. He finally starts to understand why her older sister is always so incredibly anxious about her.
But since he promised to fulfill any request she has, he decides to go with the flow. He reminds himself he is not doing anything wrong when she suddenly asks for a warm hug.
Our boy hesitantly warns her that she cannot just go around asking random people for hugs. But he immediately stops himself, realizing his warning sounds a little too manipulative. Her warm embrace and gentle breathing make him realize she just wants a simple hug.
She probably just likes the comfort, and he is just the human pillow she does not hate.
Well, being a human pillow is actually a pretty sweet deal anyway.
He does not lose anything, and it is wholesome how a simple hug instantly makes her happy.
A peaceful silence fills the room. They share a sweet, quiet moment together.
He breaks the ice by asking if she has a favorite plushie.
Our guy mentions he has a bunch at home that he forgot to bring along. Standing outside, the older sister overhears them and realizes her sister is finally opening up.
She is deeply touched, calling them out for lunch as he promises to be right there.
He bids her goodbye for now, thinking that getting her to talk was actually pretty easy.
And honestly, she is actually incredibly sweet once she opens up.
Look at her writing down a simple humph, stroke by stroke. She is so adorable.
Honestly, she is so cute.
Wait, what is going on now? Is there something wrong? Oh. Hey sis, hear me out. Fumo, you took forever! By the way, what did you say to my sister? Why don't you just ask her directly since she is literally standing right here? Wait, why is Wanwan here? Only the older sister gets a feast? No shot! Wow, she really has a bold attitude.
What's wrong? Is the food not to your liking?
Are you not used to the place? Master, please, eat first.
Wait, I thought I only hired Meng Jianxia as my little maid.
We only spent 30 minutes in that room, and now you call me master? Her sister is going to destroy me.
She probably just remembered me saying the host of the house should eat first.
Meng Tingwan dropping just one word is going to cause a massive misunderstanding. Let the chef eat first. Thank you so much.
Shout out to Meng Jianxia for this amazing food. Let's eat before it gets cold.
We're waiting for you to start.
Oh, all right.
Meng Jianxia, massage my back. Call me master.
Wait, was it actually Meng Tingwan? No way. Seriously, where did my cute maid go? Meng Jianxia, why didn't you just leave breakfast and head to school? Why the wake-up service? Wake up, we need to talk.
You have something to tell me? Come on. My amazing dream is ruined.
You could have just walked in. Stop shouting outside my door and give me a professional maid wake-up service.
Oh, come on.
Wait, you made porridge too? What time did you even wake up?
Wait, do you honestly think I crawled out of bed at 4 a.m. just to make this porridge?
I bought the sides downstairs. Only this pancake is actually homemade.
Going downstairs to buy food, then coming back up to fry pancakes? This little maid is insanely dedicated.
She acted like she was mad, then served a literal feast. That Gatmo is actually so real.
Hold up. The sweet maid calling me master in that dream wasn't Meng Jianxia, it was Meng Tingwan. What's wrong? Is it bad? No, not at all. It is delicious. But why did I dream of Meng Tingwan as an adorable talking maid? That is actually crazy.
Wait, dreams are always opposites, so it makes sense since she was actually speaking in that dream. By the way, have you eaten?
Wanwan and I already finished eating.
You think everyone is lazy like you? Miss Meng, what planet do you live on anyway?
It is literally 6 a.m. Anyway, what did you want to tell me?
Fumo, what on earth did you say to my sister yesterday? Is this an interrogation? It is a simple question. Why do you not just ask Meng Tingwan yourself instead of asking me?
I already tried asking her, but she completely refuses to tell me. That is why I came to find you.
So she refuses to tell you?
Yeah, exactly. She will not say a single word, so I had to come to you. First, tell me why you were so shocked.
It is not that Wanwan cannot go outside, but whenever she leaves her safe zone, she completely freezes up. Every day after coming back from school, she has to stay in her room for hours just to slowly decompress. She was worried he'd stay shut off forever, but yesterday he finally treated Xiu's place like a safe haven. He could finally let his guard down there. No wonder he was so pouty last night, yet rushed over first thing this morning to chat. That hug really did wonders. She wanted to know what they said, but he refused to spill. She spilled everything, so he owes her. He's gotta answer. Come on, Fumo, spill! Shu admits they just talked about normal stuff, like his favorite foods and things. Plushies and stuff? Seriously, Shu? He said he felt... Hugs feel nice, and he wanted one. Does that count? Did you actually hug him back? Busted! Shu let it slip, though he denies hugging back. Good thing he didn't start it. But wait, Tianwang was the one who hugged him. Yesterday was the second time. Before, he just jumped right on him. Just a heads up, he only thinks hugs feel nice because of Shu's web novels. Shu knows Tianwang never had a normal childhood, poor guy. He keeps retreating deeper into his shell. But she's genuinely thankful Xiao shared this with her. She hopes Shu keeps talking to Tianwang, since Shu is literally the only person he willingly lets close. Shu agrees, but he's setting boundaries. If anything goes sideways, don't blame him. What could go wrong? Hide the web novels first. Seriously, those spicy stories will corrupt him. She is totally feeling that classic cabbage and pig metaphor right now, and honestly, I love her for it.
Too bad her cabbage made the first move.
Back at breakfast, Shu jokes that this sudden kindness is suspicious, but she tells him to eat up. Shu goes to school alone today, while Tianwang stays home since school makes him self-isolate. He's better off staying here. Shu promises to tutor him later, but they seriously need to run. Time to go. Is his aura really this strong today? He asks his buddy Yangzi if there's any new gossip. Turns out there is a wild rumor going around, and this time it is just about him.
Menge, they are saying Shiyu is the principal's son. Honestly, school rumors are always next-level wild. Apparently, someone saw Zhang Shitai waiting outside the class to hand Shu the principal's personal phone.
The guy who started the rumor, Dong Chun-ze, got kicked right out of school. Well, spreading lies gets you expelled, so no surprises there.
Any rumors about him and Meng Tingting? Yangzi asks if he wants the truth or the lie. Shu wants the lie.
The lie is that they're completely innocent and nobody can find anything to gossip about. And the truth?
The truth is, she was constantly passing her snacks and notes and literally flipped a hater's table, yet everyone still thinks they're platonic. Even if they kissed, people would assume Xiao was just blowing dust from her eye. Xiao tells him to shut it.
They are just normal classmates, okay?
But honestly, she does look pretty cute. He tells her she should tie her ponytail higher. She's annoyed. Why should she listen to him?
But then she starts overthinking. Is it actually crooked?
She decides to fix it, totally claiming it's just a random adjustment, and definitely not because of his comment.
Just like that, her Monday morning blues instantly vanish. In class, the teacher delivers some brutal news. Last week's quiz scores were an absolute disaster. It turns out switching seats wasn't meant to make copying homework easier. The school is introducing a partner point system. From today, your desk partner is your fixed study buddy, and your scores are averaged. The school announces a monthly progress scholarship for the top 5 study partners by the end of term. Wait, what kind of crazy rule is the school cooking up now? Now she is forced to pair up with him. His math and physics are top tier, but her English and Chinese are so bad they can only go up. He actually slipped her a note during class, asking if they can really make it to the top 5 with her math. Plus his English and Chinese. He says a tiny boost will be enough, but that is easier said than done. Her own grades are completely hopeless, so he is going to have to carry her. He is probably completely speechless after seeing her absolute slacker energy. At lunch, she orders boiled shrimp, braised pork, veggies, a chicken leg, and tons of extra rice. She asks the cafeteria auntie for another chicken leg, but it looks like today he is taking it away, saying he has some errands to run. What a legend. Her friend complains about them putting romance before friendship, then orders extra sweet and sour ribs. Hello, can we share a table? Her friend teases Ming Ming for ordering so little food during high school senior year. The guy sighs, warning her that if she faints in his kitchen tonight, he will have to pump glucose into her. She snaps back that she will only faint at home and never bother young Master Fu. By the way, he adds that her ponytail looks better tied high. Looks like he is not mad about that. But that top 5 scholarship reward is super tempting, so should they actually try to go for it?
She's hesitant because of her terrible grades, admitting she would rather just focus on math and physics.
Suddenly, he acts like he accidentally ordered an extra chicken. Drumstick and sighs that he cannot finish it, wishing someone would help him. Honestly, feeding your crush is the ultimate dopamine cheat code. Even though the drumstick is delicious, being teased like this is getting pretty annoying. He tells her not to move, reminding her that Meng Tingting would never make that face. She gets serious, asking how they are going to save their grades, and he says they will talk at home. Wait, go home? Which home is he talking about? She starts wondering why he keeps telling her to tie her ponytail high. She huffs, questioning why she should just listen to his advice.
But deep down, she secretly worries if she tied it crooked.
She tells herself she is just fixing her hair, definitely not because of his teasing encouragement. Well, her Monday blues are officially cured. Rewinding a bit, the weekly test results were absolute trash, and the teacher announced a seat reshuffle. But it is not for copying homework, as the school is launching a new study partner system. From today, deskmates are official partners, and their joint progress determines their monthly comprehensive score, with the top 5 at the end of the term getting a progress scholarship. Wait, what kind of crazy stunt is the school pulling now? Now she has to be bound to him to calculate points. Since her scores are rock bottom, they can only go up. He actively slips her a note during class, asking if they can really pull this off. He says combining his math with her language grades will easily get them there. But she thinks she is completely hopeless and tells him to carry her. Her slacker attitude honestly leaves him completely speechless. Later at the cafeteria, she orders a massive plate of shrimp, braised pork, and a chicken leg. Then she asks the cafeteria auntie for another chicken leg. He suddenly steps in and takes it, saying she cannot have it today because he has errands. Her friend complains about them putting romance before friendship, then orders extra sweet and sour ribs.
Hey, mind if I sit here? No, seriously, how is that tiny portion supposed to keep you alive during senior year stress?
If you pass out in my kitchen tonight, do not expect me to carry you to get glucose.
Relax, if I pass out, it will be in my own house without bothering the great Master Fu.
By the way, that high ponytail actually looks amazing on you. Wait, she is still mad. Honestly, the reward for getting into the top 5 is super tempting. Should we go for it?
I have no idea. You know my grades. I would honestly rather just focus on math and physics. Oops, looks like I accidentally ordered an extra chicken drumstick today. There is absolutely no way I can finish this. If only someone could help me out.
Seeing him feed her is honestly so wholesome. Drumsticks just taste better when shared, right?
It is delicious, but getting teased like this is low-key annoying. Don't look at me like that.
Remember, the actual cold goddess Meng Tingwan would never make a cute face like that.
Seriously? My 2 weak subjects are gonna drag us down. What is the play? Let's talk at home.
Wait, did she just say home? Which home?
The school's coldest goddess is literally begging him to go home with her. All right, let's move.
Okay, we are safe here. Nobody is around to tell if you are the older or younger sister.
Honestly, this setup is actually kind of perfect. Oh, wait, you have a leaf stuck on your shirt. Let me get that.
This street food is literal heaven. She is such a happy little foodie. It is so cute.
Right, rich people can buy whatever they want without even checking the price.
Auntie, 3 chicken wings, 3 mushrooms. Wait, actually, my sister and I don't want lamb skewers or chives.
Just 1 skewer of chives, then. Do you want spicy?
No spice, thank you. Could you make it quick, please?
We are here to talk about the study group, not just the food. Getting into the top 5 is going to be tough.
Actually, we need to aim for first place. There is a $2,000 scholarship on the line.
First place is way too far, but hey, $2,000 is a lot. You can never have too much cash.
Tutoring you is fine, but my time is precious. So, my cute little maid, what is in it for me?
What are you going to give me in return?
Why that face? Do you want me to clean your room, give you a massage, or wear a maid outfit?
Absolutely not. Can you please keep your mind out of the gutter? Fine, I will tutor you. Yes, tutoring is fine. Wait, you actually agreed?
I was just teasing. Honestly, who does not want better grades? Take this food. I am going to check on your sister. Let me know when dinner is ready.
Seriously, I still have no idea how he managed to talk his way in here. He literally handed over the house keys like it was nothing. Honestly, this whole arrangement is getting pretty wild.
I mean, living together already? The author is definitely cooking with this fast-paced romance.
Ting Ting, look what I got you, some of your favorite snacks. Where's your sister? She's cooking at home. Do you want to join us later? We will split them 50-50. Wait, hold on. It is totally fine. Go ahead. I honestly thought you girls did not like spicy food. Wait, what is she doing? This girl is too sweet. Is she actually splitting every single snack exactly in half? That is adorable.
They taste so good. Does your sister not buy these for you? Only sometimes, but she never eats them.
No worries. Since I am your landlord now, I will buy you all the treats you want. This guy is effortlessly winning over the sister. He is built different.